Hi everybody, good evening. In this video, I just want to point you to an amazing Bible study because I haven't figured it all out, but I just want to point you in the right direction. How many of you understand the parable of Yeshua walking on the water? We're all familiar with that story, and we understand it. The basic premise is keep your eyes on Yahuwah, keep your eyes on Yeshua, keep your eyes on Messiah, and you will always stand firm, generally speaking. But the parable is a lot deeper than that. And I want to invite you into the Odes of Solomon, Ode 39. Ode 39, astoundingly, especially towards the end of the ode, especially towards the end of the ode, actually gives the revelation of Yeshua walking on the water. And, many argue the Odes of Solomon is an early Christian text. I don't think anything could be further from the truth. I believe the Odes of Solomon were written by King Solomon. People don't really want to acknowledge that because it causes problems because of the Son of Yah messianic prophecy in the Odes of Solomon. And within his writings, we have the same thing in the Wisdom of Solomon. But the Odes of Solomon, literally you could tell the same author who wrote this, the Song of Songs in our Bible is the same author who wrote the Odes of Solomon. There's a reason why King Solomon's name was on the manuscript, probably because he wrote it. Even scholars say there's strong evidence to believe that though our manuscripts are post-Christian, that's all we have, but there's strong evidence that it was originally a Hebrew text. And I think this study, if you could grasp it, actually proves that this was likely written by King Solomon, and more amazingly, Yeshua walking on the water was probably emulating this ode. Now, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave people to study this ode, Ode 39, and consider Yeshua walking on the water, and consider the revelation. Now, I just want to explain myself a little. In this channel, I feel part of my callings are to help legitimize the extra biblical text. And that doesn't mean that I say our biblical canon is wrong and we had it wrong this whole time. I don't feel that way at all. I feel like these extra biblical texts, their validity is to come out in the end time. We have the revelation of the last days. We have the ability to verify these extra biblical texts. Therefore, for those who can receive it, I think it was the Holy Spirit's will to preserve these texts, but for them to come to the surface. Right? But now, let's talk about Ode 39 of the Odes of Solomon. This is actually a last days revelation, if anybody can receive it. Now look, great rivers are the power of Yahuwah, and they carry headlong those who despise him, and entangle their paths, and they sweep away their fords, and catch their bodies, and destroy their lives. For they are more swift than lightning, and more rapid, and those who cross them in faith are not moved. Alright. I'm just going to say how I read this text, how I'm receiving it. I believe this seems to be talking about the Joel 2 army, Satan casting out Satan, and those who cross them in faith are not moved, because we will have the blood of the Lamb on our doorpost. That's the way I read it. I don't know. I haven't really studied this out, but we also see that this is a punishment for the wicked in the last days. This Wisdom of Solomon confirms this. Here we are, chapter 4, verse 19. For he will rend them and cast them headlong. That means haste. Very hastily, swiftly. Just like that. They shall be speechless, and they shall be shaken from the foundation, and they shall be utterly laid waste, and be in sorrow, for the memorial shall perish. This is exactly what we're reading about in Ode 39. Okay? Now we could do Bible topic searches like make haste, right? And we could see God's wrath will be in haste. They'll be rushing all over the place. It'll come really suddenly. Stuff like that. And there's also a Bible verse. I looked for it. I could not find it. I mean, we could find shades of it in Habakkuk 1:8. But it says that the heathen, nobody could run faster than us, or nobody could be swifter than us, because in our days they have cars and vehicles and all that kind of stuff. But in the Bible it says, well, he will send people, then his wrath will be even swifter than their vehicles. Then he will send, like the Joel 2 army will be even swifter than their vehicles. Well, those who will persecute them will be even swifter than they can be. Something like that. I couldn't find the verse in the Bible. But we're kind of jumping along these lines here. And towards the end of this ode, we kind of get into the revelation of Yahuwah walking on the water. And it's amazing. I'm not going to get into this. I'm just going to leave you guys to read this and study it on your own. It is absolutely amazing. And his footsteps stand firm on the water and are not injured. They are as firm as a tree that is truly set up, right? Let's go back to Psalm 1. Psalm 1, right? Those who love, whose delight is in the law of the Lord, whose delight is in the word of Yahuwah, will be like a tree planted by the rivers of water and will never be moved. We find this in Jeremiah as well. So we can understand Yeshua is the word. Okay, so make the connections. This is deep, deep revelation into Yeshua walking on the water. So what does this mean? Does this mean this is a post-Christian text? I don't think so. Because considering, if we could even grasp the deep, deep, deep revelation that is within this text, there is no way this is a post-Christian text and someone is just emulating the parable of Yeshua walking on the water. The revelation and the truth within this text, the inspired truth, is so deep, and it's for the last days. That's just not possible. This is, I'm guaranteed this is written by the wisest man who ever walked the earth outside of Yeshua, which is King Solomon, and this was a Hebrew text. It was written by King Solomon, because his other writings confirm his wisdom. The wisdom of Solomon is amazing. The Psalms of Solomon are amazing. So I just want to leave you guys with this. This is truly fascinating. It's amazing. And it really opens up the revelation into Yeshua walking on the water. And I believe that he was emulating this ode, walking on the water, meant for us to decipher in the last days. I do. I believe that. I believe that. So something to meditate on. Think about it. Do the reading. Really cool. Alright guys. I hope you all have a good night. Yah bless you.